Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first episode of Warped FM. We're doing a demo playthrough of a game currently on Kickstarter. I'm going to actually throw that in the chat right at the moment. Head over there and follow Goose Poop Games, their current Kickstarter. It is well, actually, I'll get into what it is after we do our introductions. So why don't we do a round of introductions of these fabulous folks that are on the screen with me, starting with my fellow creature, Shannon. Shannon, tell us about yourself, and actually don't tell us about who you're playing today, because that's the point of the game. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I am Shannon. You can find me all over the internet at ImagineIf. I also host the ImagineIf Media Twitch and YouTube channels where we support those who create, play, and heal. You can sometimes find Jordan, the designer of this Warped FM game that we're playing today, over there hosting Goose Poop's Creator Coop. I am also Raven as part of the Superhero Shenanigans team, playing a Mutants and Masterminds series over at Don't Kill My Character. And
Nice.
and I'm here to have fun and rip Jordan's rules to shreds tonight.
Perfect. Whether that's their intention or not, that's probably what's going to happen. I'm just going to throw that out there. Yeah, we should apologize in advance.
I already did in the chat.
So Shannon and I are both playing creatures, interdimensional beings. We'll get to that in a moment, but the two podcasters are on my screen over there. Oh, I pointed the right way. Perfect. Let's start with John. John, tell us about yourself, and you can go ahead and tell us about your podcaster if you'd like.
Oh, sure. Well, my name is John, and I didn't know that there were rules. So I'm not sorry for destroying the rules. I live to break the rules. That's what I do. Anyway, I'm playing Clyde, just Clyde. Don't need to know anything more than that. I've been on the radio for 30 years. Employed, you don't need to by whom. And, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you're on the wrong channel.
I feel like I'm already going to start guessing your favorite item, but I'm going to wait for that. All right, and then up over there, we have our other podcaster, Joe, it's been a minute since you've been on the channel. How's it going?
It has. I've been well, and I'm not the only person that's returned to the channel, because I am playing the one, the only effervescent Genevieve Vance, baby! It's been a while since you've seen her in post-World War I Egypt. Because of this pyramid, she actually gained immortality, and now she's here forever.
There you go. I love it. Meanwhile, my character died, I'm pretty sure.
Your character died.
Well, let's not do that today.
Let's not do that. Well, I don't think... Well, there's no hit points, so we won't die today.
Fair enough. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining. What's that?
I was just going to say, I can only take one character death a week, and I've bet my limit, so let's keep it clean today.
So no more of that today. Perfect. Let's see. You can follow me on my socials at WHPubs across the interwebs, except for on Twitter, because boo. And also, if you haven't already, head over to our YouTube channel. Link is in the chat, where you can help us hit our goal of 500 followers. And there's also, last time I checked, I think over 350 videos that you can entertain yourself with. You've got plenty to watch in whenever you have free time, including one of Jordan's other games, Good Soup. So if you checked out our Good Soup episode before, that was also done by the same game designer at Goose Poop Games. Thanks everybody for joining us in chat. It's definitely appreciated. So, podcasters, recently, you were just minding your own business, trying to do your laundry in the communal laundry room when the washer broke down, and kind of rooting through the room that you're in, you realize there was some old machinery, and you're like, oh, well, maybe this is a washer, and you pulled it out. And it was weird because there was like a vent attached to it, and that vent went back to like some kind of weird arch and everything. And there was a sign that says portal, but it was like P period O period R period T period A period L period. You're like, what is this? And there's this thing that says to put in 23 quarters and hit eject twice. And you're just like, well, whatever I need to do my laundry, let's get this done. And so you did so. You put in your 23 quarters, which is pretty expensive. Let's be honest. Hit eject twice, and all of a sudden a portal appeared in the archway. A friendly fellow showed up, explained how the portal works, how it is not an actual physical portal that you walk through, but rather an interdimensional projector of sorts, and you can use it to chat with people across the various multiverse. So since then, you did what any intelligent person would do, obviously, and you started a podcast interviewing the creatures that you could get to appear on your show. So today, you've sat down, you've put in your 23 quarters, you hit eject twice. Why don't you two tell us about how your show starts? And there's a timer to this, to which Joe is going to make sure we follow. So now, actually, why don't you start the timer after you do your introductions?
Awesome. Okay. Well, if it isn't time for another episode of Warped FM, it's me, your favorite immortal journalist, Genevieve Vance, with news at a glance. With me, as always, is my co-host, Clyde.
Yeah, it's Clyde.
We will be your guides today through your interdimensional journey. Today, we have the lovely Stimp from somewhere. From Dimension, and now I am terribly sorry. It has been a while, and again, I am from the early 1900s, as we all know. So it is stuff sometimes that I do not get names right. We have Stimp 23914, as well as Frillwed from the Bureaucracy Corp Incorporated Dimension. Hit play now.
Hello?
Oh, is this on now?
Hello?
Oh.
It is, and
on?
welcome to Warped FM, where the vibes are great and the dimensions are piping hot.
Very exciting. Oh, is it hot there?
Well, no, it's rather cold.
Oh.
Hot as in like it's a hot topic.
Oh.
What's hot topic?
Is that sounds like I believe we watch, I think we do their taxes. I think we do their taxes. The hot topic. It's a storm.
So you do taxes where you are from?
Oh, that's just one thing that we do, yes.
What is going on? Where did I end up?
You are on the air right now, Stimp.
No, I'm not. I'm clearly on the ground.
Yeah, me too. Well, a floor. I'm on a floor.
No. Yep. Cool. I'm on ground.
Okay, so you both would say that you both are grounded then. You both are terrestrial.
Is there anything else?
I mean, you are grounded, you as in you do not float, fly, or are hanging off of anything at the moment.
That sounds terrifying.
Currently, yes, that's correct.
Why would anyone choose to do that? That just seems...
Why are you asking so many questions?
Well, because this is an interview podcast.
I've heard of this. The
I don't remember signing up.
Several of these have shown up in the building before, but never in my area. So this is very exciting. I'm actually very, very pleased at the moment. I know you can't tell, but I'm very pleased that this happened to show up right here. I've always wanted to. The reception kind of sucks, I'll be honest.
Again, the portal does not really like it a whole lot. Once we get talking, it tends to clear up a bit more.
Oh. Well, what would you like to talk about?
Well, first of all, what is it exactly like in your dimensions? Now, of course, Clyde, you can also bump in with your own questions as well. I am just merely the main hostess.
Well, I'm just really listening for the patterns in their speech to see if they're trying to tell us something that we just aren't hearing in the words they're using.
Of course.
That's a very good point. Why is it that we're understanding you?
Well, it's because this is clearly a government project that has been underway for quite some time, since before Kennedy, and it is precisely the reason why he was removed from office. This project has fallen into our custody, and it is clear you are part of a larger network of necessary beings that we should be speaking to about very important topics.
What does the pickle maker have to do with anything?
Pickle maker?
Kennedy, he's a pickle maker. Very famous.
You know about his pickles?
I've heard of him.
Could you expand a little bit more on the pickles of John F. Kennedy?
I'm going to take a pass on that and hand that over to Frillwell.
I'm really not sure what exactly is a pickle.
It is a pickle. Sugar is a long courgette that has been essentially pickled in vinegar and brine, and you eat it.
Oh no! No!
That's wrong.
No,
that's wrong.
You can hear like chewing noises as, and maybe you notice like my shape, even though you can't see my details. I start chewing on something. No, not good.
I don't know this pickle that you're talking about. I haven't heard of this pickle, but pickles here are unusual circumstances that one might find themselves in.
Oh, that is also a colloquialism here as well.
Colloquialism?
A term of phrase.
Yes, it's very serious business over here. There's Kennedy has the largest corporation that handles the pickle manufacturing.
So they make situations there that you don't want to be in?
Well, the people that are in them don't want to be in them, but there are people that want them to be in them. It's a whole thing.
Interesting. I don't think we do your taxes. I'm going to have to look into this.
Yeah, this is just another piece of evidence that it's all a big cover up of what we were told to believe. See, the pickles, when you say colloquialism, we call those psyops. They're code names. Another way to describe such words, Genevieve. I know that you also are probably well aware of your status in the world right now due to your specific nature.
Well, of course. I am known throughout all of the earth about my immortality after being faced in that giant black pyramid.
Well, Genevieve, we're not really supposed to be telling the public about that all that much.
You're not supposed to be. I released the licensings for it, so.
Where's my movie rights?
I secured my movie rights.
Love it.
I had Rue McClanahan play me in the first movie.
I'm sorry, Genevieve. You asked a question. We'll get back to the in a moment. I just want to. Is there something on your head, Clyde?
Well, are you able to make out shapes?
Well, I feel like there's something maybe there, and I just want to ask you about it.
I'll be happy to maybe tell you a little bit about it. What exactly do you see?
Well, it looks like it's maybe a little shiny. Is that right?
It is designed to reflect gamma waves and other harmful materials that may be coming from or within this government device.
Interesting history. We can come back to that. Genevieve, sorry. You asked a question. Do you want to repeat that just so that we...
Of course. Now then, I myself am a family person. I am focused on my family. And I just would like to know if you could tell me, both of you, about your families. If you have any, or understand the concept of them.
Stamp?
What's a family?
A family is a unit of multiple people who, either by choice or by genetic disposition, are connected to each other through emotional bonds.
That would be Lart.
And who might Lart be, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, you are obligated to answer, of course. This is being recorded for evidentiary purposes.
Lart is someone I do stuff with when I'm not working, I guess.
And by do stuff, do you mean plan to overthrow any formal organizations that would otherwise be known as governments?
Nope. That sounds very strange to me.
Well, you're missing out on
Sounds
opportunity.
like something. That sounds like something maybe Kennedy might have put you up to. That's that wheelhouse, I think. But yeah, no, this is like sliding down the mountains, collecting stones, things like that.
Interesting.
Do things when you're not working.
Well, I'm confused by what you're saying there. When you're not working, what does that mean?
When you're not doing the things you have to do. That you don't really want to do, but you have to do them. Because food or something.
I guess there's just a lot being lost in translation here because we work all the
Do you
time.
not go on breaks? Frelwed, do you not go on breaks?
What's a break? Are you talking about being promoted?
What's a break?
No. I'm talking about you taking respite from doing your job, as in you're doing an activity that is not related to your job or to anything that your job is doing.
I don't really understand why you'd want to do that.
Mostly for mental relaxation and to not be burnt out and or snap, and not speaking from experience, obviously, but totally not send another group of people to said Black Pyramid once it reappeared in the early 1940s, and then send them into it and then force another person to become immortal like yourself. Yes. No.
Interesting. Have you checked to make
so
sure if there's any way you can claim that on your taxes?
Well, filing for taxes over here, Frillwood, is generally an exercise of submission to organizations that are formerly known as governments, and we do not engage in such things, given that we are of a different tier of accessibility within this place here that we live in.
Please note to all listeners that I, Genevieve Vance, do not subscribe to the ideas of Clyde. That my opinions are of my own and Clyde's opinions are of his own. Much like the opinions of my favorite flavor of butter from Buttery's Butterland. Buttery's Butterland, the best butter in the land.
Love it. As far as family goes, I suppose the only family I know is my coworkers, those who were made by the creators, to work here in the office.
Okay, so you would say that now. Do you look similar to these coworkers, or are you all individualized?
Oh, I would say we're similar. I feel like I'm a different shape than that one over there, and I would say we can be of similar matter, but maybe different shapes.
Okay.
So I'm sorry there, Clyde. I don't mean to pry. This device that you're wearing on your head.
Yeah. I'm wearing the thing on my head. Yep.
Has it protected you from having to pay taxes to the government so far.
Oh no, that's just my designation within the outer government, the super government, as you would know, which is a subsidiary of the shadow government.
I mean, on
Just below
paperwork, all of those
mega
are the
government.
same. They all file their taxes similarly, but they're all really the same.
Well, I haven't had to file a single piece of paper with the lesser government, the formal organization known as the government, for quite some time. I still receive my paycheck from the handler, and as long as that continues to arrive in my offshore bank account, I do not believe I need to be filing anything with any representatives of the puppet government that is currently in operation.
And which is also why apparently he needs to use my bathroom. He comes to my apartment and uses my bathroom.
Well, you know it's not bugged, Genevieve. You know it's not bugged.
Oh, you
What's the
gotta.
matter with
But
bugs?
also the fact that you come in, I don't give you a key, and
Well,
yet
I
you
don't
come
need-
in.
I don't need keys. Keys are a feature of a different world that keeps us as controlled like sheeple. Keys are the first step to gateways. You know, gateways of the mind, barriers of truth. You know.
And this, people, is another iteration of Clyde's Crazy Talks, a segment we love to have unexpectedly pop up every episode of Twisted FM.
There's a little jingle that plays over that, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Stimp. I feel like maybe we've been hoarding the portal time here. Do you have any questions?
I have so many questions.
Right?
I'm very confused as to what's going on. There's so many different things being said, and half of it does not. Well, I don't know. What's half? I don't even know what half is. I just said it out loud because I heard it. I don't. I'm very confused, and I kind of like you see just like the portal is not the same all the time as you're looking through. Like the shapes are changing and.
Now, Stimp, I am terribly sorry to interrupt you before you ask your question, but it seems you are ever changing. Would you say your form isn't as solid?
Sometimes is that not okay for this?
No. We're just asking. We are just asking.
Yeah, it's sometimes. I'm a little curious about this pyramid. Is this something you have on your desk, or is this something you?
It was something that happened to me over 100 years ago.
Oh, maybe you should work through that. It sounds like it's still coming up a lot.
It only comes up as much as I want it to come up, and I want it to come up all the time, sugar.
I'm just gonna let that sit there.
We'll just marinate in that, as they say.
We're gonna marinate in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so I got a question for the two of you undocumented aliens from dimensions unknown.
I'm sorry, interdimensional beings is the
correct.
preferred terminology.
Yeah.
We've been through this, Clyde. It's interdimensional beings. I am
It is the
terribly sorry
preferred
about Clyde. Again,
sorry.
Warped FM does not support any or most of the ideals of Clyde.
Stop.
Most.
Clyde's opinions are those of Clyde's own.
That's
There's
gonna
just
be
a button you
jingle on top
push
of
and
that
just
one
keeps,
too, you know?
yeah, it just keeps like,
It just keeps
this episode is
repeating
not supported by.
Right, IBs, I mean, interdimensional beings, IBs, IBS for short, for our listeners at home. Did we meet before, or have we just maybe found ourselves into some kind of paradoxical loop?
There's just silence. What?
Or do you intend
Is this
to
thing
appear
on?
again? Well, yes, it is on. I'm just asking. for a friend, of course. If you
Is it
if
Lart?
you
Do you know Lart?
are you a part of this pattern? Are you aware of the pattern in which we are interfacing with?
This
Again,
this
Clyde,
working
no
thing
one
in
has
front of me?
ever heard of the portal before the portal opens.
Yeah,
Again.
well,
Oh, no,
no one's seen the portal.
I've heard of the portal. I've heard of the portal. There's
Oh.
many rumors of the portal throughout the lands.
And do you intend to find some way to use the portal for any sort of illicit needs or uses or desires of wherever you come from?
Doesn't everybody use the portal for what they want? Wouldn't that be a desire?
That's a good
Is
point
your
there.
hat on a little too tight? Maybe you want to loosen that up a little bit.
Well, it is exactly as regulatory requires. Do you wear hats? Stamp 23914.
No, I don't really wear hats. I don't need hats.
Is that because it is temperate where you live, or is it because you do not possess a head?
Or you perhaps possess multiple heads.
Well, look, you can't have multiple hats if you got multiple heads. There's only one hat per head.
It's only one hat.
Or
Yeah.
it could be a giant hat.
Oh no, Lart has 4 heads in one hat.
See?
Yep.
Yeah, no. Most of the time, I have a single outlet for communication. Sometimes it changes.
Well, I mean, that could mean a lot of various different things. Like, we are using a vehicle for communicating right now, but it is not attached to our physical bodies, unless you were to think about it on a submolecular level, which the government does not want you to really be thinking a whole lot about.
Again,
given
Clyde, that is not what we mean. Again,
We all
Clyde,
use the same key for that vehicle.
we do not.
We don't use keys here. Keys are a suppressive instrument.
Genevieve presses the button again. Again, the opinions and statements of Clyde are not supported by those here at Warped FM. Again, what I believe Clyde is asking is what I believe we are asking is, does your appearance change most, like it isn't a concrete one form constantly all the time?
That's correct.
Okay. Would you say that you are goopy?
Only sometimes.
Only sometimes. So more liquidy then?
Sometimes.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you transcend normal states of matter? Like, do you have 3 states of matter, or at least 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're dealing with classic water person, probably from a dimension of water making. Yeah, clearly a Kennedy planet where they are making pickles.
There's water only part of the time.
Only
Right.
part of the time. What is it the rest of the time?
Now I'm like, what am I supposed to answer in this question? What are the rules for this particular game? Am I supposed to make things up? Am I supposed to tell the truth? I don't know. So I guess it depends on what I'm doing, what I'm working on at the moment. What my mission is, I guess.
You got a mission now. See, I told you, Genevieve. Everybody's got a mission on the other side of this portal. That's part of our job here as agents, is to find out what their mission is.
Again, Clyde, as I've said this for the past 500 episodes, which you can stream now on Sploopy.
It's my favorite show.
We are hosts on a podcast.
Well, that's a front, and you know it. I mean, we can be honest about it because, you know, there's not a whole lot of people like the mundanes who are listening to it anyway. Like, only those of us who really know the truth are listening. You know who you are.
And to be fair, I have noticed that in a lot of the paperwork that we handle, you can be more than one thing.
Exactly. You can be more than one thing.
So not only are you a podcast, but you're also kind of a tinfoil wearing hat kind of conspiracy theory group, aren't you?
He is. I'm not.
No, I'm an agent of the super government.
Right.
Who very much likes his hat.
Now, listeners, this is the point of the podcast where you know I am looking directly into the empty wall where I would imagine a camera would be while Clyde is saying this. I just want y'all to know, listeners of the Dear Podcast.
So out of curiosity, when I accuse you of being a tinfoil wearing hat kind of person,
Right?
does anything appear on your head? Oh,
Oh, snap.
Oh, shoot.
I feel like you should get kudos for this.
Yes, you get bonus points for props.
Right.
You do.
Well, I don't know how to do this properly. I don't
Just
do
kind
this
of
at home
wrap
at
it
home.
around the arch of your headphone.
That's not enough.
Mute your mic.
Mute your mic. Mute your mic, Clyde.
I'm going to mute John for a moment here. Bloop. John, you muted. You muted. Still muted.
Still muted. Listeners, if in case you're not listening right now, we had to mute Clyde because he was going off on one of his large tangents that would overrun the entire hour that we have. And now he is done. So I'm unmuting him.
There we go. As I was saying, it is regulation. It's regulatory design. This here was issued to me by the undersecretary of the shadow government.
But it's very nice.
Yep.
Sorry about that. I was just touching myself up.
It's very sparkly.
It is probably the sparkliest thing I've ever seen.
Are you talking about his hat or what I was doing? So just so I could be
Yes.
Both. Well,
the hat.
I feel like there were definitely some sparkles coming from your direction, like a reflection.
I would indeed say that it is a reflection error. It is something that would reflect light, yes.
Interesting. We don't have much of that here.
Light?
No reflections. They just really, interrupt with the work.
How do you tell if like your appearance is not up to par?
Oh, well, we were just born perfect the way we are.
Nobody's
isn't
born
that
perfect.
everyone?
Well, okay, nobody here is born perfect.
Yeah, the creators would definitely argue with you there, and you never want to piss them off.
Are you suggesting that the creators are the same creators that came to our planet 10,000 years ago when we were created by the Nibiru, Planet X, Anunnaki folk?
I'm not really sure on that one. There's certain levels of that I don't have access to. I don't have the answer to your question.
Are you friends with your computer?
I'm friends with my computer. Mostly, we just get along so that I can do my work and make sure everyone else that works under me does their work. And, there are definitely times that it doesn't work, and then my ability to do my job effectively is diminished, which kind of evens things out, which I'm appreciative of. because I don't want to go out of middle management. I don't want to be promoted or, demoted, and I definitely don't want to be fired. But I don't know how things like that work on, like, when you're promoted, for example, if you were to have a position that you could get promoted from. I don't know if you have promotions in podcasts, but here, if you if you are a middle management, such as myself, and you get promoted, well, there was another middle manager, Janice. Janice used to work for me or with me, and she got promoted, and people act like promotions are good things. And then I looked out the window and I saw Janice go outside. Who does that, right? And I never saw her again. So I've really done my best to just stay right where I am, neither moving ahead nor falling behind, just right where I am.
If you don't mind me asking there, Phil, how many times have you been terminated and reinstalled?
Oh, that's such a personal question.
That is rather personal.
We ask real personal questions here, the hard-hitting questions that our listeners deserve to know.
Then half of the time, it's just Clyde spiraling.
With the hat. Yeah.
Hold on. I will be right back. Clyde, I'm certain you can handle everything right now.
Oh, this is what I do, Genevieve. I may not be immortal, but as long as I'm getting paid, I feel like my work will be immortal. I mean, at least those bits of my work that have been done that aren't highly classified, by the organization known as the.
And sorry
government.
about that. When my cats just got out, so
no.
I'm saying that. I'm saying that in character. Sorry.
Genevieve, we can't be having cats here. Do you know they are spies for the
Now you watch your mouth. You don't talk about the creators like that.
All the creators are cats. Are they feline?
They are feline in nature, yes. And you should always only pay homage to them, give them respect.
So then, okay, so, see, are you then, if you don't mind me asking, are you hairy?
Well, that is a rather personal question, like Stimp asked earlier, but yes, I would say I'm rather hairy.
Are you made mostly of hair?
Oh, very, very much so, yeah. Most of me is hair. I would say there's a good amount of spittle as well. Maybe.
So you essentially are a giant hairball.
Yes, from the creator's mouth.
Well, that is something. I'm a little speechless.
As you guessed what I am, my composition. I come into focus for you. I look kind of like a hairball that has been shaped somewhat into a somewhat worm-like form, but has arms and a big eye. And I'm wearing a shirt, like a button-up shirt with a tie. I look very bureaucratic for a hairball.
I'm so confused. I know. But it's in the best way.
It's in the best way. It is. Everyone, yes, we have Frillwid, a furball worm with arms. That is. Oh, so when you get promoted, you probably just get thrown out. Like when you get promoted, like are you picked up by a giant paper towel and then just like moved?
That is the case. Yes, very much so.
Oh, honey, you're getting fired. That's fire.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would recommend you hide underneath your desk, or better yet,
we do sleep under our desks. Yes.
Yes, I would probably begin the process of coordinating the people among you to rebel.
I'll take that into consideration.
Now then, I usually like to add in another question now. So I'm just going to ask this right now. Now this is mainly towards Stim. Would you rather be too hot or too cold? Or no, sorry, wrong question. How do you get around, Stim?
It really depends on my mood and where I am, depending on what I need to do.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you mentioned it were there was mountains. Are you in a predominantly rocky area?
There are a lot of rocks. Yes, there are rocks underground and above the ground, and
Would you describe?
There's also the fluid as well. And then the growing things.
Plants.
Yes, that's the translation. Yes, thank you.
Plants. Again, and just so that way we are all on the same page. Plants are things that are in the ground that grow upward, usually have roots.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Would you describe the rocks around you as mostly porous, or perhaps lightweight?
We don't use them for pouring. No, the weight of them. I mean, it depends. Sometimes we use them to build things. Sometimes we use them to skip in the fluid.
Is the fluid hot rock? Is it like rock that was once solid or pre-solid, as we call it in my line of work?
This depends on where you go. It's
Well,
both.
further down. The further down you go, is it more pre-solid, or is it solid mostly?
Further down you go, the more solid it becomes.
I see. And are you made of the same material as the rocks around you?
Sometimes parts of me, yes.
Now, how would you describe your height?
My standard height, I guess, is probably about the same size as a what is the word for it in yours? A vehicle?
Like a car?
Yes.
So would you say that you are tall?
I can be.
Okay, you can be. Okay. And just to be safe again, you do have extra appendages outside of the standard form of legs, torso, arms, head, neck.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you've got legs. I'm a little jealous. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I just gotta kind of roll around.
Sometimes they're there. Sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not. I kind of like that you get to hang out under the bed, but I don't really know what that's like because I'm always doing something.
Always doing something.
I don't know if I could relax.
So you're moving constantly.
Yes.
Are you perhaps
Gotta compete.
like a shark?
Like a what now?
A shark.
Is that one of those things in the fluid?
Yes.
Yes. No, I am not like a shark.
Okay. Are you buttery?
Because you did a butter commercial, I'm gonna say no. Because that would be awkward and weird.
Very well. Very well. Whew. Do you have scales?
Yes, partly.
partly.
Well, there's a lot of things that have scales. I mean, definitely not justice, but I digress.
Genevieve presses the button once more.
Oh, the scales of justice.
Again, the opinions stated by Clyde are of his own.
Since becoming, like, visible, my one eye has just been glaring at Clyde. It's the whole cat comment, but I'm just glaring. Every so often,
I love it.
I do this at you. I don't do this at you because I have one eye.
Love it.
Well, I mean, things like that have scales. Creatures of myth on this side of the portal. Things that have been written, of course, by the proto clones of Kennedy that were established by the Anunnaki in the year 10,000. Kennedy would be like the things like dragons and mermaids and I
10,000
believe
KE Kennedy era.
Yeah, Kennedy
Perfect.
era.
Yeah.
Back when we were established as a colony by the Anunnaki, obviously. Now you should know this, of course. Right. Well, I'm just thinking that it's probably in that space somewhere where, maybe, I mean, it can't just be just a fish, right? Like, fishes have got scales, but like, if you're only like partly fish, probably more like a mermaid.
Not a mod, but yeah, you're on the right track for sure.
Well, well, you know what? I usually
Are you a reverse mermaid?
No,
do you have legs and a fish head?
Just little flippers.
No, but I do know someone like that. It's kind of troublesome for them, actually.
Are you like dough? Like, are you able to change your form willingly, or is it like?
You see partially now some things kind of starting to come into vision, but it's not completely in vision. So you start to see little glimmers of things, multiple things.
Are you made of multiple people?
People?
I mean, are you made of multiple entities?
Entities?
Fish. Are you made of multiple fish?
We need to put like in any like feedback or any messages to Jared. We need to be like, hey, can you put 3 people in a blender as one of the?
Right. No. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm just me. I'm all the time me.
Do you host multiple people?
I mean, sometimes I have a party once in a while, but that's very rare because I'm usually.
Are you an anemone?
An anemone?
Anemone.
No, I am not.
Okay.
Well, maybe you would also be probably part of that.
Miss Genevieve, I apologize that Clyde keeps talking over you, and I feel like you deserve your own show rather than have to rely on.
I would, but I try and lock the door to the studio, but he just keeps getting on in. He just gets on it. But I, honestly, if we were in the same dimension, and I will say this, I consider both of you my friend. I do. I consider both of you my friends. Not Clyde, but both you and Stimp my friends.
Well, you don't have to be friends with those people you're assigned to, Genevieve. We've been assigned to each other, and that's unfortunately just kind of the nature of how things are. Well, you were in my apartment.
The one time I tried to host the show by myself, you barged in. You scared off my guest.
That's
the one with the tentacles, the spider person.
Yes, exactly.
Well, listen, we can't be having no spider people over here, like ruining our ears with their propaganda.
Genevieve, I feel like
Gloria is a wonderful creature. I don't know why you feel the need to, put Gloria in a box like that. I don't understand. I mean, we have I just don't understand that. We have great climbing sessions. I mean, I don't know.
Would you
usually
say then
finds
that
it
you
really
yourself are like a
frustrating.
giant? Are you like a giant millipede?
No,
A
that's
giant centipede?
no.
Wait, aren't they
A
the same
giant-
thing?
No, they are not, Clyde.
There's a lot of
From you-
legs involved with that difference.
A lot. Are you like a giant octopus?
I am not a giant anything. We've established that I am the size of a car.
Oh, okay, then are you an octopus?
Are you okay, Guinevere? I know it's really tough with Clyde jumping in all the time.
It is very hard. It is very hard sometimes. And also with the connection of the portal and the fact that we
Yeah.
are, it is hard.
Genevieve, it's okay. If you just believe in the creators, you'll understand that one night, while Clyde's asleep, they will sneak in, steal his breath, and he will never wake again.
I pray for that every day, and yet it never happens. I pray for it every day.
Well, that's just a myth. The real creator was the
You
Anunnaki
watch your
who brought
tongue.
us Kennedy, the first protoclone that populated the planet, and brought us pickles. Clearly, Stim
You
knows
are
all about that.
constantly moved. Okay, so
The
Stim
image,
again.
the image at that little outburst and aggression, the image changes and my form becomes completely the same, like oscillating a little bit.
Are you multiple spiders?
No.
In a blender?
Okay, well let's see. You're constantly moving.
Well, it'd be like a swarm of fish, probably like a swarm, the size of a car swarm of cars.
I think they call that a school where I come from, but it's not that either.
Well, you never heard of a swarm of quippers or kippers? Kippers. So that's the name of them.
Question again:
Kippers.
are you in rocks, or are you rocks, or are you in rocks, or are you in water?
I'm in rock right now.
Okay, in rock.
I solidly form, but not completely the same. So you see little sections, I guess.
Are you amphibious?
No.
Okay.
My single eye staring at Clyde, I say, "That hat looks real good on you."
Well, yeah, it's government issue. It's made specifically for me. I don't know why Genevieve's not wearing hers. She's going to get hit with all those gamma rays after every time we use the portal.
My eye looks at Genevieve and rolls.
Mm-hmm. Now, guests, normally we are nearing our final quarter of our interview. Isn't that lovely? But still, I just would have to say, Stimp, Frelwed, you two are the most loveliest of guests I've had in my 500 shows I've done here.
I mean, of
Spider for sure, yeah.
Of the like interviewers that I've had the chance to talk with, you were by far the most wonderful. And I
Thank you.
glare at Clyde.
Same. That's the same for me. Now, what you don't know is you're the only one, but
Right.
yeah.
Okay, Stimp, so are you amorphous? Like, you're constantly shifting, you said that.
It's not constantly, it's just when I choose it.
Okay, when you choose. And you're in rocks.
I have many options.
Are you a chameleon?
No, but it's fun to pretend I am sometimes.
Are you a stick bug?
No.
Are you an ant?
Guinevere is like, I shall determine what you are.
So, I just have a quick question of my own, if you don't mind there, Genevieve.
Of course.
Your reflective thing earlier, you were doing something with it. Can you explain what it was that you were doing?
Oh, yes, I was just like clasping it. I use it to ground myself sometimes. It's on my person always.
And how do you use it to ground yourself?
Well, it's pinned onto my clothing, and I just kind of rub it with my thumb.
I see.
It's a rock thing. It's a rock thing. Yeah.
Can you explain how you pin it on clothing? I don't understand that part.
At the back, there is like a little pin that I can pierce through my clothing, and it just.
I think that would be like when the yarn gets stuck on you. Frill, and I would imagine sometimes there's little pieces of yarn down there, and it gets kind of stuck.
Right.
Usually, as you can see, I do it a lot when Clyde talks.
Well, I just thought you were doing that because you were trying to channel the other waves. I forget what they're called. The Zeta waves, Zeta, Beta, Jones waves.
That's a great band.
Yeah, I heard the band once through another portal interview. Isn't that like your secret of eternal life, that you got to have that, otherwise you will turn to dust after having been turned immortal from its pyramid?
Silence.
We haven't broken.
It's just a theory, of course.
Genevieve, can you explain more about this? How does the pin then attach to the cloth to keep it there?
There is a stopper that is separate from it that I attach to the end of the pin, and it stays in place.
Interesting.
And you see it as it sort of like comes into view more. You see a peacock pin.
Oh.
Yeah. As it's like pinned like right here. I'm not gonna pin it myself actually, because I like the shirt and the needle's a bit too thick.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
It shines just like you, Guinevere.
It's Genevieve, but thank you again.
But I should know that. You've said it about 800 times during this interview. I should really have that down. I apologize.
Oh, no. It is fine.
Things get lost in translation all the time.
Exactly.
I
just wish I could find out. I just wish I could find out what you are. I just wish I could, because
I ask myself that every day.
Well, I mean, Stimp 23914. You mentioned that you were partially scaly. Do the scales ever flake off, like, peeling off a formica? The material that's really necessary in building highly complex technological equipment.
Sure.
So would you say that you are composed partially of formica?
Could you tell me a little bit more about this highly complex equipment that you're talking about, though? Because they flake off, but I really don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, that is classified information. I was just checking to see if you were aware of the equipment, but it's clear you do not. That is disappointing.
How does one become classified information?
Do not get him started.
That's a different podcast, I think.
Yes, exactly. But still, I would just like to state this, that you against him are just a treasure.
Oh.
And you say that your scales shed off, and are you a snake?
I am not.
Are you like a gorgon?
I don't know what that is. Maybe.
It's like a Medusa.
No. You gotta be careful when you hang out with her.
You do.
Let me tell you, the paperwork on her, we've got just so many file drawers full. Insurance claims.
Would you say you're also fluffy?
Yes.
Fluffy.
Fluffy.
And you'll see this tail come into view. That
Are
kind of
you a
wrapped up in
chimera?
No.
A cockatrice?
No, I don't think there's a word for what I am in your world. I am what I am.
How would you pronounce it?
I don't have a word for it. I'm just me.
Are you a
Just
changeling?
am. I mean, I've never heard that word before, but I do change sometimes. But I mean, I do have a standard form. I just manipulate them.
Like a shapeshifter.
Sure.
I mean, really, Cloud, no one asked your opinion.
You Clyde, no one has asked your opinion. In fact, you know what? Portal, please let this be Clyde's last episode. Send him through, please. I am begging you.
No, please don't send him through. Please
Send
please
him
don't
to
send
another
through.
dimension that we won't have to interview him again.
Oh,
And let these two come here.
I have to be interviewed. I'm pretty sure. I'm here doing interviewing for the government, the super government, the one that's above the shadow government.
But still, we are nearing our last 5 minutes.
So real quick, Joe.
Yes.
We're going to use a question from chat real quick as a call-in.
So this is like a call-in.
Yeah.
We have a call-in from chat.
It's
from Stacey UK.
Yeah.
Stacey, what is your question?
Hello, Stacey. It's very nice to meet you.
Now, Stacey would like to ask, are you a butterfly or a moth?
That's a wonderful question. And sometimes I like to think that I'm a butterfly because I have gone through so much and changed. But no, indeed, I am not a butterfly.
Are you a moth?
No.
It was a good guess, though. Good guess.
Are you prismatic, perhaps?
Oh Lord, he's still here.
Do you change colors or reflect light in any sort of way?
Sometimes I reflect light in certain parts of me, yes.
Like a dragonfly or a beetle, perhaps?
Those are so cool. I've seen those creatures. They're amazing. No.
So you would say you are not insectoid?
No, I am not.
So, Miss Genevieve, I'm going to get some paperwork started over here on my end as far as seeing if we can go ahead and get Clad removed from your building in the near future so you don't have to be interrupted during your amazing performances during this lovely portal cast that you've had us on.
Oh, I would greatly appreciate it. I
believe the bureaucracy will definitely find a place for him. Probably some place that he'll enjoy, maybe, or hopefully not. We can hope for the best.
I would hope the latter. I personally would hope the latter. But I usually pride myself in being able to figure out who my guests are in appearance and let the portal clear up a bit more. But why, Simp, you just simply have me stumped.
Oh. It's probably because it's very unusual.
You are not insectoid. You're not.
I will start showing like little bits, and you'll see like part of me, like my arm, is looks a little bit like a. It looks a little bit like a cat arm, but it is completely made of wood. Going all the way down.
Are you one of those cat statues?
No, but I wish I was, based on what Freelwald is, because that would have been amazing. But I did not choose that, indeed. So, and then you'll see like on the other. So you see like this arm, and you see not the whole arm in shape. You just see part of it, but a good enough part that you can tell that's made of wood. And then you'll see like this over here on this side of what looks like a face, but it is like fluid. It's moving a little bit, so it kind of looks like as if you were to have taken water and put it in a bubble. And so you see a little bit of that, and there's a single eye that you can see, and a little bit of a cheek, and like that part over there that is made of water. And then on like where the chest area would be, I guess, you see like a few different sections that are of different material. So you see a little bit of like.
Are you a patchwork quilt of creatures?
I indeed am. And you'll see me just kind of, all of the things will happen all at once. So you'll see the fur just kind of come up, and you'll see the pieces of metal that are kind of, as I move, are glinting a little bit in the light of where you are. And you'll see kind of what looks a little bit like, Clyde kind of guessed this earlier, but a little bit of like lava rock formations. You'll see a little bit of that, and it'll just completely go into shape. And I'm almost like dwarf, short, stout kind of, except where it's fluid. So it's just it's an odd looking.
Well, Stimp, you are beautiful, as I say to all of my guests, which is true. You so both are beautiful.
I appreciate all of your guesses.
And well, then we are nearing the end of our stream, and hopefully for the last time, this is Clyde is here, but I am Genevieve Vance. With me was Frelwed and Stimp.
I have an idea, maybe, for Clyde. That the pickle manufacturing company is always looking for more people over there, and it seems like that might be a nice fit. I
will certainly talk with y'all later with that, because right now we are nearing the end of our broadcast. Remember, stay warped and weird. It's Genevieve, and hopefully for the last time, Clyde. Bye-bye, y'all.
This is evidence that the government's planning a coup through the interdimensional portals.
And we are done.
I go full water at that last little thing.
So, as the portals fade away and everyone goes back
Clyde
to their...
Genevieve pushes Clyde into the portal as it closes. Hopefully that sends him to another place.
It's just a window, unfortunately. I wish you could go through.
Now I feel like there was definitely some things there that I feel like we should explain to the audience, because I feel like I was being rude to Clyde, which I was, because you have objectives on your character sheets, and each of us was kind of like trying to work through our objectives and marking off what we could do, and for each objective you get points, and at the end of like a one shot like this, we're going to add up our points and see who got the most and wins, although it's not really like a winning kind of game. The winning part is having fun. So I'll just go through my list here real quick first to give an example. So for example, I feel like I did not hit this objective. Ask the podcaster something profound. I feel like I didn't hit that one, so I'm not going to give myself a point for that. However, get the podcaster to thoroughly explain a simple human task like pinning on your pin. And I was trying to be a little overly specific with that one. Give the podcaster a backhanded compliment was my compliment to Clyde about how good that hat looks on him.
Yep.
Go on a tangent about something only creatures from my dimension know about. I was going off about something for a while there, and I was waiting for someone. Promotions. Yes, thank you.
Which was brilliant, by the way. I love it.
It was brilliant.
I became friends with a podcaster. I became enemies with the other podcaster. I chatted about my motive, which was to never get promoted or demoted or retired. And I got the podcaster to correctly guess my composition. So while I add my points up, why don't we have... Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All right, Joe. How did you fare?
Okay, so I asked both of them something profound. I asked them how. I believe I asked. I'm thinking. When did I? I know I asked it. It's like it was. I think it was something. Oh, it was about the family stuff. I asked them about the family stuff.
Yeah,
I think
good
that
one.
was something very profound, and I talked about that. So that's a point for me. I complimented how beautiful Stimp is. That was compliment something about the creature.
Nice.
I think I got Frelwed to talk in great detail about something.
I believe you were correct, yeah.
Yes. And I used my favorite item in a creative way, my pin, to ground myself from Clyde's incessant talking about conspiracies. Let's see. Now, if I did it multiple times, do I get extra points with that, or is it just straight up just 2?
I would call it 1 point, but
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, that would be my guess too.
Okay, then yes, I became friends with the creatures. I did not become enemies with the creatures, which I'm fine with. And I dropped it in an ad for something without anyone noticing. Spoofy.
I love it.
Yes. I did not describe how the air in the room changes after a creature says something. I wanted to, but I wasn't able to fit it in. I did go on a tangent about plants with pickles. Pickles were technically a plant. I did not talk about how technology could improve a creature's life, nor did I go on a tangent about my podcasting gear.
That could have been. You could have worked that in with commercial. You could
Hmm.
Yeah.
have.
I did not ask my finisher at the right amount of time, but I did mention my favorite item without anyone noticing because of the pin. I started that real quick.
Yeah.
And I got someone to correctly guess my favorite item, which was Frillwood.
Love it.
So that is 5. That is 5, 2, 7, 2, 9, 2, 11, 1, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15 points.
You are 1 ahead of me currently. Love it.
Awesome.
I'm not even adding mine up because there's no way that I have have gotten to that point. And also, so I played this a little bit differently because I wanted to. And we won't count points or anything for this, but the way that it is in the rule set is that you get the most points is 5 that you can get, and it's to get the podcaster to correctly guess your composition. And I thought, what would this be like if I didn't want them to guess?
Gotcha.
So I still had to answer correctly, but I didn't want them to guess. So that's
Still
how
being
I
like
played
evasive
it,
about it.
to be evasive, but still not lie and still give hints and stuff like that. Because I wanted to see.
Honestly, that was
like.
really fun, and I actually really liked that.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I figured since we're play testing it, let me poke at it a little bit.
Yeah, try and break it.
Nice.
Yeah, and try to play around with it. And so I think it's really cool. You could play it in both ways, pretty easily. They have 2 different spins on it. The one thing I was trying to do too was like the profound, rather than ask a specific profound question, I was trying to respond with questions to make people stop and think about it, like some putting in comments here and there, like that's not very nice, or whatever, like just kind of the second guessing questioning kind of thing. I was trying to put that in here and there.
Nice.
So those were the things that I kind of focused on intentionally, and then the Jeremy, you were figuring I think we both got Clyde at the same time, so I just let you run with that because it was so fantastic. And then Joe, I had no freaking idea what your thing was. I thought it had something to do with the pyramid, so I was completely lost in that.
I honestly, I was doing that on purpose. I wanted, okay, for one, I did want to call back to Javante's excellent DMing. Hi, Javante, if you're watching. But also, I wanted to throw it off a bit, but still pepper in a couple of hints here and there.
Yeah.
What my actual item was.
Love it.
Yeah.
And John, I apologize for being mean to you. I had to make an enemy. You just stepped up to be the enemy.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
And hey, you
I
did
feel like
some
that door was wide open, though.
Right.
You
That
know,
door was
I feel
wide
John just
open.
stood proudly in that role and was like, "Bring it on."
yeah.
You
yeah.
made an
So-
enemy even of a fellow podcaster, which
Right.
isn't even something that you can do.
Yeah, make an enemy of your fellow podcaster. So Clyde, tell us how you fared in your objectives.
I didn't keep track at all.
Fair
actually.
enough.
I wasn't paying any attention to any of that. I've got music playing in the background, which was a little distracting, but half of it was trying to pick out what was actually going on.
Yeah. I don't recall who it was that called out that I was made of hair because I was a
Me.
hairball. Perfect. Yeah, I would like. Thanks for opening the door for that, Clyde. Because when I rolled, so for those of you who are watching, there are tables that you roll on to figure out what your composition is, and they're trying to guess your composition. And I rolled hair. And I'm like, that's gross. I'm a living hairball. Cats are the creators. I have a whole religion now. So,
That's amazing.
I still don't understand the business aspect of it, but like at the same time, it's
yeah, so his whole work thing. So after
Yeah, the
I
taxes
went and
thing
found an
blew me.
image. I found an image for me to like be able to look at and kind of like if you ask what I look like, so I could kind of describe myself. The image is wearing a button-down shirt and a tie, and I'm like, obviously a bureaucrat or a car salesman, but
Bureaucrat.
Bureaucrat.
the bureaucrats. I can't even say it.
you're all catsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all catsy.
Love it. Well, thank you all for being a part of this. It was so much fun. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you to chat for watching, for tuning in, and also entertaining guesses as to what everyone was, and just hopefully having fun all around. Why don't we do a round of introductions? Tell us who you are, who you played, and if there's anything that you have coming up, please do share that. And let's go in reverse order. So, Joe, I think.
Yeah, I think me. Okay, so hi again, I'm Joe, pronouns he, him. You can find me on Blue Sky at Joe Killy or at Blue Sky. Nothing coming up yet. I've been stacked with personal games and stuff, so I don't know when I'll be back on the channel, but I hope soon. And I played Genevieve Vance, everyone's favorite immortal Jewish investigative journalist turned podcaster.
Love it. And that would bring us to John next.
Oh, I'm John. I'm around. I show up sometimes. You can look at pictures of my dog on Distillosaurus Rex on Instagram if you want. It's mostly pictures of my dog.
As you
And,
should.
As you should. He's adorable. And
That's what
it's
the
playing
internet is
Clyde, a government agent from the super government, which is just above the shadow government, working on a project that is classified. You don't need to know any more than that.
If Clyde told you, Clyde would have to threaten to kill you.
Clyde wouldn't have to eliminate you. Like there are agencies for that.
Right, exactly. Just
you know.
just the threat.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Shannon, please tell us about who you are, who you played, and where to find you on the interwebs.
Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Shannon. I am Imagine If, Imagine with no E-I-F, pretty much everywhere, all over the internet. I'm also the host of the channel Imagine If Media, and that's on Twitch and on YouTube. And we host those and promote and support all those who create, play, and heal. I mostly host the Creator Spotlight over there, where I shine light on what's going on and what people are doing. And then also I play Raven on Don't Kill My Character, and that is a Mutants and Masterminds cosplay called Superhero Shenanigans. My link is in the chat, but you can also get me at Linktree at ImagineF, which also has all the stuff and what's coming up. And What's coming up is we're doing two. Normally, we don't host games on the channel. Usually, it's just for charity type stuff. And so for this month, we're hosting two all Black casts to support Black History Month and raising funds for Black Girl Film School. So you can catch those coming up on the next 2 Tuesdays, which are going to be absolutely phenomenal. The cast is stellar, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. And today I played Stimp 23914. And for those of you who even care about this kind of stuff, the 23 is for the letter W, the 9 is for an I, and the 14 is for an N, because all Stimp wants to do is win in their spare time. I didn't know if I would need that in game, so I threw that in. So yeah, and I was a patchy composition and totally made everything up per usual. So thank you, Jordan, for creating this fun little
thank you, Jordan.
Spin on all of the things that we do when we role play. So yeah, thanks. And thanks, Jeremy, for having me again.
Absolutely. I suppose I should say I'm Jeremy. I played Frillwood, the oddly sentient hairball. And you can find me on all the socials at WH Pubs. We are going to rate out, so please hang out as we do so. Thanks again to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to Jordan for letting us play this. I hope your Kickstarter absolutely you've already succeeded, so it's all just gravy from here. Is that the right thing to say?
More stuff.
It's all great stuff.
All great stuff.
Awesome. All right, everybody, we will see you. I should say tomorrow. Tune in for another episode of Shadow Dark Wanderings into the Dark, our chaotic adventures. Our chaotic players being chaotic. That's really what it is. That's also at 2 p.m. Eastern, so tune in tomorrow and we'll see you then. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.